Opponents are part of your history, part of extended family, part of the scrapbook of the mind. They met first in a match 10 years ago. Spanish teenage tomboys. Conchita Martinez from tiny Monzon. Arancha Sanchez-Vacario from cosmopolitan Barcelona. In 10 years, little has changed. Martinez still quieter, taller, still thought to be more gifted. Sanchez-Vicario more successful, more combative, more charismatic. Steffi Graf is forever linked to Jana Novotná. The day, July 3rd, 1993. Such emotional contrasts. Graf escaping, celebrating a 5th Wimbledon title. Novotná, 5 points from victory, collapsing, consoled by a sympathetic royal. Defeat, so difficult to assimilate. Some opponents take what you think should have been yours. Some opponents are part of the scrapbook of the mind. Some opponents force you to summon all your strength and will, for they, like you, see their opportunity, their name in history as champion Wimbledon. Got it cranked up on this Thursday at Wimbledon, the women's semifinals. The nets are up, so grab a seat. 4 hours of action, the winners to be judged as Wimbledon finalists. From 128 competitors at the start of this fortnight, we're down to the final 4. The 4 top seeds have advanced. Familiar foes on familiar turf. Fame Center Court the scene. The winners today will play Saturday for the 1995 Wimbledon Championship. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg along with Chris Evert. We talked about familiar foes, and certainly that is the case. Conchita and Arancha growing up as kids, playing each other. They know everything about the other's game. And then Steffi Graf and Jana Novotná will meet for the 27th time. Novotná's won only 3. Let's go first to the all-Spanish semi.
Well, they're going to be fireworks in that match because there's so much at stake. They're both Spanish. The egos, the pride. And if you remember last year, Conchita won Wimbledon, sort of took all of the publicity away from Arancha. I don't think Arancha liked that too much. I'm going to stick with Arancha. I mean, I think she's playing very solidly. She's so enthusiastic, so energetic. And Conchita, her last few matches, has played like the weight of the world is on her shoulders. She's feeling the pressure of being defending champion.
Well, Arancha has been in the finals 5 of the last 6 Grand Slams. The only one she missed was a year ago here at Wimbledon. This is the farthest she's ever advanced at the All-England Club, and you're predicting she'll go on to the finals. Let's go to Steffi Graf, Jana Novotná.
Well, Steffi Graf said after her last match, I think I'm unbeatable. And when she says that, that's unbelievable because she's a very humble, modest champion. She's been playing flawless tennis. I mean, her court coverage has been excellent. She has a lot of power. Jana Novotná, not the same player that we saw 2 years ago when she really should have beaten Steffi Graf. The sting is out of her game, and I think the heart is out of her tennis.
But sentimentally, the hearts of fans will be on the side of Jana Novotná. Much more on this Thursday from Wimbledon. Let's go to Hannah Storm.
Thanks, Dick. We want to update you on the news regarding Monica Seles. She is returning to the tour. It has been more than 2 years since Seles stopped playing following a horrific incident in Germany when she was stabbed during a match. Seles is planning to play at this year's U.S. Open, and NBC Sports has learned that she will also play in at least one of the tournaments before the Open, possibly coming back as soon as the San Diego event, which takes place later this month. Also, American Jeff Tarango, who received the largest fine in Wimbledon history after self-defaulting, is back at home in Los Angeles. He landed in the quiet of the night, a long way from the circus he created at Wimbledon. Tarango still faces suspension from the tour, and some have speculated that suspension could be as long as a year.
I think everything's going to be handled pretty fairly. I'm waiting for the decision. I think a lot of people are waiting for the decision, but like I said, I regret everything that's happened, and it's terrible that something like this has to come out, but I'm just so tired right now, I don't know what to think.
Weary, maybe, but hardly thinking of retirement. He's anxious to restart his tennis life.
As far as the ball going over the net, it shouldn't affect anything. I think I'm playing better and better every day, so we'll see in the next tournament. Hopefully I'll kick some butt.
Okay, thanks a lot.
See ya.
Meanwhile, back on the courts of Wimbledon, for the first time in the history of this tournament, the top 4 seeds in both the ladies' and gentlemen's draw have advanced to the semifinals. And later, we'll have a preview of the men's Final Four to be played tomorrow. John McEnroe will be joining us in our studio for that. Also today, we will show you yesterday's captivating quarterfinal between Boris Becker and Cedric Pioline, which lasted 5 sets and more than 4 hours. Some have already called it the match of the tournament. Coming up next, the Spanish showdown, Arancha Sanchez-Vacario in her first Wimbledon semifinal, and defending Wimbledon champion Conchita Martinez.
The Championships, Wimbledon, brought to you by American Honda, maker of fine quality automobiles, motorcycles, and power equipment. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. And by the Pepsi-Cola Company, who reminds you that nothing else is a Pepsi.
Welcome back to Wimbledon. Arancha Sanchez-Vicario facing defending champion Conchita Martinez in the first semifinal today. Sanchez-Vicario won the first set 6-3, as Martinez committed 17 unforced errors in that set. She also appears to be having trouble with blisters on her feet. We join the match now in the second set, Game 5, the score 2-all. Sanchez-Vicario serving in the near court.
Good shot on this court because the ball, when it hits the grass, it just dies. The bounces are low anyway, but with that added spin on it, really get down low. She's waiting for those overheads. She's sitting there in the backhand side. She's done that a few times today.
That's the 3rd time. Just hangs around and
You'd think peripherally Conchita would see her just standing there waiting for it. Whew.
And that's the kind of shot that eliminated the hopes of Martina Navratilova a year ago. Those dipping forehands deep. Inside you say, oh, wow.
Wow. A polite gesture, but you really don't mean it.
Turnabout is fair play. 3-2 in the second. Conchita Martinez, Arancha Sanchez-Vacario approaching the 1 hour mark of this semifinal match. Rolex and Wimbledon share a tradition of quality and excellence. Conchita serving 2-3 in the second. Down a set.
It's in the air.
Several God bless yous from this polite audience.
And Arancha, look at her foot speed, almost getting to this ball. Conchita knows what she has to do. Set up the volley with a big forehand or a big serve and win the points at the net.
Another net cord. Martinez is trying to become only the 4th woman in the Open era to win back-to-back Wimbledon singles. The others are Martina, Billie Jean, and Steffi Graf. And each one of those 3 champions got their share of net cords, as the good players seem to do. Her brothers Emilio and Javier, successful Pro Tour players, and she watched them, followed them,
Practice with them.
She told us in Paris that she never was pressured to be a tennis player. She said, I wanted to play tennis. I wanted to be like my big brothers, and that to enjoy a game and be rewarded so richly.
Very much like Steffi Graf. I think they're both parents had to like threaten them to get off the practice court.
Well, from 30 love, now a break point for Arancha. This is the first of the second set.
Sanchez-Vicario leads 4-2, second set.
Well, you had a little bit of everything in that point. A great overhead to set that shot up, and then just a nice touch drop shot. And there she is running in between points. That's when you know Arancha's excited and she's positive and very confident.
Now just 2 games away from the Wimbledon finals.
really great to see. I'm just watching her, the way she's moving. She's crouching low to the ball. She's hugging the baseline. She's in total control of all her shots.
Two women, girls, 12 years old, starting their career seriously on the red clay of Spain, battling on these famous lawns of Wimbledon.
Oof.
Well, a superb defensive lob kept Arancha in the point. She's now 6 points from the semifinal win. Well, that's the first unforced error in quite some time for Arancha. Mother Marissa.
Actually, Conchita did her a favor by winning Wimbledon last year. The press asked her if she believed that she could win Wimbledon, and she said, yeah. She said, if Conchita can win it, if Andre Agassi can win it, I don't need to be a serve volleyer to win it.
A lot of balls struck and only 13 unforced for Arancha. And too many mistakes for the defending champion. Time running out on her.
She's been known, Conchita Martinez, in the past to mentally be frail, to give up. She's been a changed person, a changed player the last few months.
That's Kiermaier working on that aspect of her emotional mental state.
When Chanda Rubin was down 5-love, 40-love and came back and beat Jan Novotny, I mean, that should be incentive for anyone.
This was a tough volley to stay in the point.
Advantage, Miss Sanchez-Vicario.
So we've had our first deuce of this entire second set, and now Arancha a point from 5-2.
Game, Miss Sanchez-Vicario.
Arancha Sanchez-Vacario won 2 of the Grand Slam events last year in Paris, the French Open. And then beat Steffi Graf for the U.S. Open title. So she has half of the Grand Slam bracelet. Celebrates with her family after that win in New York last summer. She's been a finalist in the Australian the last 2 years, so she's been close there. But this is the championship where she's had the most difficulty. As we said, had never made it to the quarterfinals until this year. Now in the semis and 1 game away from the finals. Would make it 6 of the last 7 Grand Slam events she was a finalist. And it's pretty easily defined now for the defending champ. She must hold and then break. 2 big games.
And hit a few more forehands like that. That's our only hope.
Arancha's done a good job of mixing it up, coming to the net, hurrying her opponent into errors. Well, that's 5 net cords for Conchita today.
Well, the first set was really won at the baseline. Arancha, as you see her get an incredible get here. But Arancha was really capitalizing on Conchita's errors. And then once she got that first set under her belt, she just gained that confidence. And then you saw her just come into the net, use her drop shot. You're seeing her whole game now.
That's a good serve. Had some pop. 5-3, an 87-mile-an-hour serve. Defending champion. They come up with something special. And Arancha has the match on her racket. Wow. Forehand drilled to the line.
I'm sure she'd like to clock a few big forehands like this, maybe get a net cord, maybe a bad bounce.
Oh, she was free swinging on that, considering the
pressure,
tenseness of the moment. Clinic on backhands. So many of them barely clearing the net in that long rally.
Lower and lower with each backhand. Both of them just trying to figure out a way to get into the net. Conchita played a great point, but still lost it.
Very tough half volley for Conchita in that last rally. Slight opening at 15:30.
30 all.
Well, into this 9th game, the first break chance for Conchita Martinez in the set. Will she attack the second serve?
If it's on the forehand side, she will. There's always been a stigma associated with Arancha's. She's one of the greatest slow court players. I think that stigma has annoyed her. Certainly would erase that if she reached the final here. Conchita showing a lot of guts this game.
Advantage with Martinez.
Each time she's had a chance to nail a forehand, she's been free swinging.
The anticipation. Arancha's not only quick, but she just was at the right place. She anticipated this so well. Kept her shoulders turned to the last minute and then whipped it cross court.
One of those Spanish cowboys with that lasso up over her head. Follow through. So 2 break chances for Martinez, mandatories for her. And a 3rd break chance.
No nerves in this match.
Advantage with Martinez.
And Carlos Kiermaier, the coach, says, yes, give me one more of those. Conchita Martinez, her hopes of a Wimbledon repeat aren't buried yet.
You're watching the championships, Wimbledon, on NBC.
They're both 23. Conchita Martinez from a small town, Monzon, north of Spain. Arancha Sanchez-Vacario from a tennis family, very successful, Barcelona. They have played as partners, won a silver medal in the Barcelona Olympics. But they are highly competitive, and this is not a friendly match. Arancha wants to beat Conchita Martinez desperately. She had her chance in the last game. Martinez with a break, serving 4-5, trying to dig her way back into this semifinal.
last two games, I feel Conchita's played the best tennis in this whole match. And you sort of have a sense if she can just keep it up for one more game, we're going to see a third set here. It's almost as if she decided, well, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down hitting my best shots and going for my shots. And they all worked.
Suddenly a couple of unforced from Arancha.
You know, having played the game, I feel like I can read faces pretty well now. And on Arancha, I see anxiety. And on Conchita, I see just a very composed player right now who knows that she's still in the match. And who knows that her game has really come together the last couple of games.
One of the few that hasn't climbed over the net cord. 2 points left for 5-all.
Second set.
Chris Evert, Arancha throwing in an interesting shot. You don't see a lot of on men's or women's side. That forehand slice, just on a tough point to keep it in play. Not enough to win that game. 5-all.
Love 15.
Boy,
Now Arancha pressing a little bit.
Really has changed, hasn't it?
At 5-2, Conchita played 2 great games. Arancha couldn't have done anything. And then that last game, Arancha played a very tight game. The pressure was almost on her.
Ooh.
Conchita's like quietly sneaking through this set with no emotion.
Love 13.
Just hitting winners right and left.
And another unforced and 3 break points for Conchita Martinez.
And Arancha really needs to take her time and think about this next point. Oh,
Conchita Martinez, back-to-back breaks of the Sanchez-Vicario serve, and now Conchita will be serving for a final set when we come back. Now the momentum of this match changing drastically from 2-5. Martinez serving, trying to hang in the match. Since then, she has broken Arancha twice and now has earned the chance to win the set on her serve. And you can see the unforced telling the story as well. Arancha was serving 5-3, 30 all. That looked pretty good.
Conchita was ready to play it.
It's only the 4th point of the last 17 won by Arancha.
Both players are going to be looking for that mid-court ball or that short one to come in. I said at the beginning of the match that Carlos Kiermaier said the match would be a baseline match. It would be won or lost from the baseline, but right now it's being won or lost at the net. They're playing very good grass court tennis.
It is a wonderful variety of points played, shots engineered. 30 all, 2 points from the second set. The defending champion Conchita Martinez.
She stayed down low here and just rolled the ball over cross court. Kept her eye on the ball and not where she was going to hit the ball.
Break point to extend this to a tiebreaker. Off the sideline appears, and we go to a tiebreaker. Conchita Martinez thought she heard, as we did, an out call. And apparently...
I was calling balance before the ball jam, and the guy said it's out, and we were overruled the umpire. Nice call.
Donna Butler in the chair overruling, and the break by Arancha Sanchez-Vacario. She had 2 chances in the set and converted both of them. Tough to tell from that angle. Linesperson did call it out. You can see him with his left arm extended, but overruled.
Out. 1-0, Miss Sanchez-Vicario.
Hopefully she won't let that one shot bother her.
Yeah, they're about the same, aren't they? Freer and 95. That they're, as expected, as top players in the world, to have a considerable advantage in tie breaks. There's a little mini break.
The concentration level is always higher when you're dealing with the top players, and in a tiebreaker, obviously every point counts. Every point is like match point. The focus is more intense. But Conchita hopefully is not thinking about that supposedly bad call, because she just has played some of the best tennis of her life on grass the last 4 games.
3-0.
Loses both her service points, and Arancha now with a 3-0 lead. They've had one tiebreaker each in this championship. Arancha converted hers against Brenda Schultz in the last round, and Conchita over Gabriela Sabatini. It's the first time they've ever had a tiebreaker head-to-head, interestingly, and this is their 10th match. 6 of those won by Arancha.
3-1, Miss Sanchez-Vicario.
1 mini break back for Conchita.
Miss Sanchez-Vicario.
A little reluctant to come in off that shot, but she has to stay with this game plan. I mean, the last 4 or 5 games, she has been coming in with authority, and she has to stick with that.
Change ends. Arancha Sanchez-Vicario leading 4 points to 2. Tomorrow it's the men on center court, the semifinals. Only the 3rd time since they've been seeding, and that's almost 70 years, that the top 4 male seeds have advanced. Agassi, number 1, will play Becker, number 3, and Sampras, the defending champion 2 years in a row, number 2 against number 4 Goran Ivanisevic. Starts at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 in the West, 4 hours.
Miss Sanchez-Vicario.
Hear the noise from court 1, where the holders in men's doubles, the Australians, Woodford and Woodbridge, have advanced. So Conchita from 3-love down is even.
This is what Arancha is known for, is her gets.
5-4, Miss Martinez.
You have to hit 1 or 2 more shots against her.
Martinez takes both of Arancha's points and now has a chance to serve out the set. Conchita with 4 consecutive points. what an error.
Well, she doesn't like to hit that overhead. Oh, perhaps hoping and wishing that it would go out. Not her favorite shot, and that's probably why she let it go. She just didn't have the confidence in hitting it.
5 points all. Second set tiebreaker. Arancha Sanchez-Vacario in the lead. Won the opening set 6-3.
Miss Martinez.
Well, you know, Dick, there haven't been that many exciting matches, but I'm very excited about this match. It's been being played at a very high level. Both players are being forced to play the kind of tennis that's foreign to them. How many times do they come into the net on any other surface? Not many.
Conchita Martinez has finally fought to a point that would give her the set. First set point. They'll play a final set for the Wimbledon finals. 7 points to 5 in the tiebreaker. Conchita Martinez. We look back at the final point of the set. Conchita Martinez.
Time.
A laser backhand down the line to earn her the set. 7 points to 5 in the tiebreak, and it was certainly a different Martinez middle of the set on than what we had seen earlier, and the defending champion pleasing Gigi Fernandez and her coach, her father.
Final set, Miss Martinez.
Winner down the line.
Thank you.
So
Quiet, please.
tea from England and some tapas there in Spain, and on we go. Keep the paella hot.
Love 15.
Well, I was looking awfully good there for a while with my prediction of Arancha, but I think since it has gone to a third set, you're going to see about a 2.5, maybe 3-hour match, and conditioning will be a big factor, and I still have to go with Arancha. She's one of the fittest players, with the exception of Steffi Graf, on the tour. And unlike Conchita, Arancha, she just looks for those overheads. She loves them.
30.
That's why she's the #1 doubles player in the world.
Wait, please.
Early opening for Arancha, love 30. Have you played or watched tennis wondering if one of those short, high defensive lobs would land just as this one does? What are the odds?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, she casually approached it anyway, Conchita.
Well, you have to expect when the ball hits the net, chances are like 90% of the time the ball goes over, especially with these nets here at Wimbledon. Two
more chances for a break.
30-40.
Well, Conchita Martinez can bail out of this game from love 40, especially with that. Well, there are net chords, and then there are net chords. I mean, you almost need to be in an airplane to drop a ball on the heart of that net to have it act that way. 30-40.
Game, Sanchez-Vicario.
Arancha Sanchez-Vacario owns the early lead. Final set.
First game, final set.
Can I interest you in a change of pace? Change?
Change the lens on your Rebel. Change, play on a whole new level. Rebel.
I like change.
EOS lenses and the Rebel X from Canon.
Well, here is that net cord. I've worked on this for about 30 years, and I've never gotten one, and I've tried a lot. Unbelievable. And Conchita caught flat-footed, and it led to Arancha winning the opening game final set.
What I love so much about this match is there's so much at stake with, you know, reaching the final, the intense rivalry they have, but they're hitting out so freely and there are no nerves evident. Both doing a lot of running.
How about the nerves of those that wait for their semifinal match, Graf and Novotny? I mean, they had to be ready mentally to come on court about 45 minutes ago because it appeared that that second set was going to be over. What are they doing? What are they doing in this period of time? And were they that close that they'd be called to be alert to be able to?
Sure. When you're in that last game, usually you're called to the waiting room. I'm sure they were down there.
And they go.
But then they just go up and you know, they wait for the set. It's a lot easier this way than waiting for rain all day. Those are the worst when you have 3 or 4 rain delays.
Arancha thought the ball was long at her end. Chance for Conchita to break back.
It's really tough for me when I had to wait for a tough match before I played because my curiosity would get the best of me and I'd want to watch the match, but meanwhile the match is so tense and you start to feel the emotions for the players. And that's not the frame of mind you like to have when you walk out on the court and play your own match.
Drop shot has always been an important weapon for Arancha. She uses it so well. Is there any place up and going back to Novotny and Graf, can you hide up there? Can you get away from everyone else and just be alone with your thoughts?
Well, the locker room is set up so that there's 2 different areas and there are a lot of little changing areas with curtains and Or you could, you know, walk outside. There's a little area where you can talk to your coach. I mean, there are a lot of places you can hide. You can hide in the bathtub.
High advantage to Mr. Sanchez-Vicario.
The only Grand Slam tournament that still has bathtubs.
They draw the bath for you after the match.
And they serve you tea and biscuits.
And it's back. Sanchez-Vicario has that top spin backhand answer for every slice of Conchita's backhand in that rally, and 2-love the lead in the final set. Here's the match summary. And forced errors have creeped into Sanchez-Vicario's count, and now she trails by 8 in that regard, and more winners for Martinez.
More winners and more errors for Conchita because she goes for more shots. She has more weapons. But I could tell you right now what's going on in Arancha's mind is she's thinking to herself, we're in a third set. I'm in better shape than she is. I'm going to keep her out here as long as possible and just get every ball back and let her get tired and move her around side to side. And that's exactly what she's doing.
Out. 15.
Was out. The call made by the chair umpire. Donna Butler. The linesman unsighted on the play.
Arancha questions more calls than anyone on the circuit. She has that reputation. The players really don't like that.
Oof. Doesn't have to question that one. He had the answer.
Conchita has to question that approach shot, though.
Taking her time, Conchita grabbing some air. 15-30, down love 2, final set. One breaker saved at a critical juncture here for the defending champion. Flirting with defeat if she falls 2 breaks down. Another break, and Arancha Sanchez-Vacario leads 3-love in the final set.
You're watching the championships. Wimbledon, on NBC.
So another injury timeout for Conchita Martinez in the towel off, and this time it's the blisters on the right foot being attended. She's down 2 breaks, 3-love. Arancha Sanchez-Vacario leads in the final set. Crowd applauding. Arancha's already taken the court as the final time warning given by the umpire, Donna Butler.
Actually, she's not allowed to take practice serves with new balls, and that's what the umpire was telling her. She didn't know it. But blisters, calluses, they're a problem when you're changing surfaces, Dick. And, you know, the players just came from the French. They have been on the red clay for 6 or 7 weeks, and they come on the grass, and just that different surface. Plus the fact she's played doubles. She's probably practicing a lot. But she seems to be more concerned with her blisters when she's losing.
Well, isn't that true? It always hurts more when you're behind.
Absolutely.
No matter what the injury. 3-love, Arancha. Final set.
The last time this happened early on, when they had a 5-minute break, Arancha lost the first 2 points because she wasn't warm. Let's see what happens here.
Well, Arancha in the second set had 5-2 up on Martinez serve, and Conchita was able to break Arancha twice, get into a tie break, and survive 7 points to 5, but then broken twice here in the final set. They played 2 hours. And Arancha must feel pretty good about what she sees on that scoreboard behind her.
Well, and Arancha being such a great front runner, in most of her matches, she closes out matches very well. So Conchita has to be looking at the scoreboard and thinking, I have to get on it. I have to get 1 game. 3-1 is a lot different than 4-love.
Three straight unforced errors. See, Conchita, who started very slowly in that regard, too many unforced as he dropped the opening set 6-3 and then settled. That's a long, remember, tiebreaker. 11 unforced is
But the second, third set, she has the same amount. In the third set, they've only played 3 games.
and another 4-love. Two games away now in her best ever Wimbledon showing, Arancha Sanchez-Vacario.
15.
She lost in the 4th round here last year to Zina Garrison-Jackson. And that's the only time she's not gone to the Grand Slam finals, and if she makes it today, it'll be 6 of 7. Most commendable. Conchita's slow reaction that time.
Well, and Arancha lost to Zina, but she beat her this year. That was an emotional match for Zina, her last visit to center court, her last Wimbledon.
Whether it's the feet or the temperament, doesn't seem as if Conchita at the moment has her heart in it. Arancha does.
She's been brilliant at times, but really not consistent enough.
Now there's a backhand with some flair and fire on it.
Just whipped this cross court top spin backhand. It's time to go for a few more of those shots. It's almost as if she's played much better when she's behind. But when she's staying even or she's ahead, she has a tendency to get tentative and not go for her shots as much.
Oh, Martinez avoids the bagel. 4-1. Arancha, final set.
NBC Sports Tennis Tips with Chris Evert. Brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be.
One of the most effective serves on grass or on any surface is the slice. It's easy to hit, and it takes your opponent out of the court, setting up for your next shot. The keys to a slice serve are tossing the ball out to the right, bringing the edge of the racket at the ball, and following through at your target. The slice serve is a great shot to open up the whole court, leaving your opponent in a vulnerable position.
Way out to the left of your picture is where the new Court 1 is being constructed. You see the current Court 1 in the foreground, and then famed center court where Arancha Sanchez-Vacario in the final set leads 4-1.
And Arancha perhaps thinking about that second set when she was up 5-2. She doesn't want to squander this lead.
You were talking about body language and faces and eyes before, Chris. Now what do you see?
Negative, you know, frustration.
Just put that under her biography. Will not quit on any point. Yeah, the best of that rally, of course, was the...
And when she keeps running after the point's over, you know you're in trouble. She could stay out there another 3 hours. She's in such great shape physically.
Love. Arancha Sanchez-Vacario within a game of the finals, 5-1.
Sanchez-Vicario leads 5 games to 1, minus 7.
Martinez has lost only twice at Wimbledon prior to this match. 92 to Zvereva, 93 to Graf, the eventual champion, and then she goes all the way for the title last year against Martina.
Oof. I always felt like, Dick, at Wimbledon, you need a little bit of luck to win the title, obviously along with ability. And I think last year, Conchita, just the fact that Steffi Graf lost first round, it really opened up the whole draw. One of about 6 or 7 players could have won it on their day, but it was Conchita's day.
And from all appearances, this day is going to belong to Arancha Sanchez-Vacario, 2 points from the match.
And if she wins this, you're going to see a very excited Arancha Sanchez-Vicario, because this is one surface she has yet to conquer.
Going back to her quote, she said, I always thought grass was for cows to eat or to graze, but maybe it's for Sanchez. Conchita's forehand delaying the celebration and stopping a run of 7 straight Arancha points. The defending champion calling out a little.
Well, both players have had to do things that sort of go against their grain, and for her to serve and volley, that was very rare. Well, this 23-year-old from Barcelona has shown that hard work and hustle and love for the game will get you to wonderful places. One of the last she ever thought possible, the finals of Wimbledon. She's made it, dismissing the defending champion, 6-3, 6-7, 6-1. 2 hours and 11 minutes for this semifinal. One place is now set for the ladies' final on Saturday. Whom will be the opponent for Arancha Sanchez-Vacario? Will it be the #1 seed Steffi Graf or the #4 Jana Novotná? Now the exit. About curtsy to royalty. Ambassador to Spain, Duke of Kent, acknowledging Arancha Sanchez-Vacario's splendid Wimbledon.
In the interest of security, may we remind spectators to take all property with you when leaving your seat or viewing position. Do not leave property unattended at any time. Thank you.
If you're